what is the process? If I am injured at work, what do I even do first?
Sure. The very first thing is to go ahead and tell your employer or your supervisor, hey, I've been injured. That's called the notice requirement in the state of Tennessee. And in fact, most states have that notice requirement. After that, there's certain things you're going to be provided medical benefits, a panel of doctors to go ahead and see, and then from there on out, the process goes forward.
And the laws have changed a bit just in the past few years, 2014. Jason, do you want to touch on this? Kind of, you can't really compare cases with someone that you have known before because, quite frankly, the laws changed.
That's very true. Prior in July 2014 and before, the laws were more favorable to the workers. Insurance companies did a lot of lobbying, and the laws are not so favorable to the workers anymore. So, for example, I had a case once that settled for about $80,000. It was a shoulder surgery. I think that case under the new regime would settle for about $20,000. John, you have anything to add to that?
No, I completely agree. And a big issue nowadays is not only how much someone can get, but the definition of injury has changed in the state of Tennessee. Prior to July 1 of 2014, if I had an injury at work and it caused or contributed to my illnesses that I have or my accident, it's going to be covered. Nowadays, it's a far more stringent, for instance, if it's a gradual injury, say a hearing loss case, I have to prove that the injury is the primary cause, or the work is the primary cause of injury. Much more difficult standard. And even if you do recover, the benefits have been reduced for that worker. In your example is a perfect example. 5-10 years ago, if somebody was injured and returned back to work, they could still receive up to 1.5 times their impairment rating, and that's getting in the weeds a bit. But nowadays, if you're back at work, pretty much all you're going to get is the impairment rating itself. There's not much economic feasibility there.
And in fact, even if you don't return to work, the most you're going to get is 1.5, which would be, and that's going to be very hard to get anyways, but that would be the most you'd get, which was what somebody that returned to work could get before.
Correct.